Welcome back, folks. For this video, I want to discuss the upcoming switch, or likely upcoming switch, for the Waffenträger auf E100 into the Grille 15. Now, I say likely upcoming switch because Wargaming is currently having a fiasco with this switch because a lot of players are saying that the Grille 15 is not as good as the Waffenträger auf E100, and Wargaming does not want this vehicle switch to become the same as the Chieftain, so they don't want to switch it just yet. Now, I find this problem rather peculiar because I believe, based on my experience playing the Waffenträger line and playing the Waffenträger auf E100, this vehicle is not as great as you might think because it has no camouflage rating, no armor. It's a huge vehicle, so basically if you do get spotted inside the 445 meters of maximum view range, which you will face with light tanks and OPS medium tanks, you will get spotted. So basically you will get shot at and you will die. That sucks. So you cannot rely on your teammates spot for you as often, and if you do get spotted, you're toast. So this vehicle is basically hiding between the limits of the view range and the draw distance, which sucks. Also, it has a long reload for the clip, so if you do miss, it sucks. You have to wait 55 seconds for the 128 to reload before you can shoot the target again. And with the recent switch to maps, so they become corridory rather than open field maps, you cannot really camp that well with tank destroyers now. And since the nerf with this vehicle, yeah, the view range got nerfed from 420 to 380-ish, so 40 less meters of view range. Basically, you cannot counter spot the medium tanks that are spotting you. You have no armor, so you're huge, and you have one less shell for the 128. Nobody used the 150 because it cannot pin unless you use high explosive anti-tank. And if you use high explosive like a clown, sure, but nobody used that. So you have to use 128 as one less shell, so less DPM. The reload got nerfed a little bit, I believe. Same goes for the aim time. So overall, this vehicle got super nerfed than the initial release version of this thing. And a lot of players are complaining that this vehicle is better than the Grille 15. I highly doubt that. So the Grille 15 plays rather more like the Waffenträger Panzer IV with a limited gun arc. Sure, it's 100 degrees of gun arc, so 50 to each side, but it's not as huge, I believe. It's faster. And yeah, I believe the accuracy with 150 on the Grille 15 should be better than autoloading with the 128 on the Waffenträger auf E100. But that's just a personal opinion because the Waffenträger auf E100, it's really hard to get a mastery badge with this vehicle. I played around 200 games, 230-ish with this thing. I only recently got it, and that's when I played this thing like a T-57 Heavy, not like a tank destroyer. So there is a niche that's not filled at tier 10 where you have a Hellcat like of a tank destroyer, because most tier 10 TDs are basically heavy armored assault guns. You have the T110E4, the E3, the Jagdpanzer E100, the FE4205 Stage 2, almost say FE4004, no? The FE215B, 183, that's a assault gun in my opinion because you're basically using the armor of the turret and you're derping, so you have to get in close. So there are no Hellcats of tier 10, and you have to play this vehicle rather recklessly. Ugh. You have to play this vehicle very aggressively to get the mastery badge, which I do not like playing Waffenträgers, so that sucks. But as you can see, I have to go reset because my teammates are losing the town, so I have to go and snipe. Alright. So So I'm trying to shoot along the way, but the reload is 55 seconds, so I have to handle it. And this thing has no camouflage rating, so if I do get spotted, I get killed, but whatever. So take the shots, reload. But yeah, a lot of tier 10 tank destroyers are playing as assault guns. Tier 110 E4s, E3s, Yak Panzer E100s, FE4005, FE25B, the Foch 155, all assault guns. The Object 263 that has armor, it's an assault gun. The Object 268, the gun arc is crap, so God, the 268 needs a heavy buff. But a lot of tier 10s tank destroyers are based on heavy tank chassis, so there are no Hellcats of tier 10s. Sad to say, but whatever. But I believe the Grille 15 will play a lot better than this vehicle. So I'm trying to snipe this E4. See the reload. Alright, clip his tracks, he repairs it. Alright. And the gun depression is not as good. So I cannot point the gun down to shoot the lower plate. That took care of him. So right now, as you can see, I'm playing this vehicle pretty aggressively to reset the cap. And as you can see, I go for a reload, and then I became swarmed with enemies. So yeah, you cannot play this vehicle aggressively because you have a long reload, and therefore you get shot at, and you have no armor, so therefore you get shot at. But basically, I'm Zoidberg running away right now because there is a FE25B 183 and another Waffentrigger auf E100 and a Centurion. So basically, I'm running away like a coward. And that's what you get playing with this vehicle. You have to be aggressive, yet you have to run away when you're reloading. Otherwise, you get derped since you have no armor. That was from the FE25B high explosive. He missed, but still clips my tracks, and I still took like 500 damage from the high explosive. That sucks. So as you can see, thank God my teammates can snipe from the hill or from the base. Ouch. Took another hit. And no camouflage rating, but as you can see, the no armor on this vehicle means BAM! Artillery nails you in a hit. So it's a very peculiar vehicle. So right now we are hiding away from the FE25B. The E75 went the valley, so he came around, thankfully. But this vehicle has to be played aggressively, and yet if you do play this vehicle aggressively, you get killed. So you need to have teammates to play this vehicle in order to get the mastery badge worthy of a gameplay. So it's rather peculiar of a vehicle. It doesn't feel like the Waffentrigger Panzer IV kind of playstyle or the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffentrigger. So you have to play this vehicle very recklessly. Recklessly. But yeah. Right now we're playing, spotting the FE25B. There he is. So basically you're playing this vehicle like a T57 Heavy, which I really do not like playing this thing. So this gameplay is only a first mastery badge worthy. I spotted 3,000 damage. I dealt 6,000 from blind shots, but yeah. It's only a first mastery badge? Come on. So here is the mastery badge worthy gameplay for the Waffentrigger auf E100. And here is my first and only mastery badge worthy gameplay for the Waffentrigger auf E100. And I say that because I do get multiple mastery badge worthy gameplays for other vehicles, but I find that playing the Waffentrigger auf E100, getting the mastery badge worthy gameplay is super difficult. So you have to play this thing very aggressively, yet you have to hide when you're playing aggressively. So it's juxtapositioning. It's counterintuitive because you have to do aggressive stuff and not get hit because you're so huge though. And no armor. You do get hit pretty often and get killed. So that sucks. So you have to do the impossible most of the time. And this vehicle has no camouflage rating. So as you can see right here, I get spotted from something, and I do not have the view range to counter spot. So the 40-meter nerf to the view range really sucks. The one shell nerf from the reload also sucks. So yeah, this vehicle is basically a larger T-57 Heavy, and it's not as capable, in my opinion, than the T-57 Heavy, because the T-57 Heavy has less shell, sure, but it has better reload, since you can coordinate the switching of the reload, and it doesn't take like 55 seconds to reload the gun, whereas this vehicle reloads at 55 seconds. So the T-57 reloads at 23 seconds, and the AMX-50B reloads at 28 seconds, I believe. So it's more flexible with those vehicles. But this thing reloads a lot longer, so you have to pick out your shots, you have to hang around a lot often, and no armor, no camouflage rating, and a huge size means you get shot at pretty easily. So you need to have teammates to be your scapegoats, and they will distract, hopefully, while you're trying to shoot away at your opponents. So playing this vehicle is very difficult. It's a niche playstyle. I do not like it. If you're liking the Waffenträger Panzer IVs or Waffenträger Rheinmetall Borsigs, this thing is not like those vehicles. So you will be surprised with this thing. But as you can see, I tried to clip. Now it's a 55 seconds reload. So I have to wait for my teammates to regroup. I have to analyze the map. And artillery will shoot at you because you're Waffenträger, you're huge. And there is the arty shell from that. So yeah. Basically, I'm relying on my teammates to survive long enough for me to reload and relocate to support. But the 55 seconds will feel like an eternity. So, oh well, that's how you play the Waffenträger. You be aggressive and yet be a coward. So, this tank destroyer is not that great. It feels weird. It feels like you're on edge between being aggressive medium and being a super coward. And sometimes you hit the tracks of the AMX-CBC and you pull your hair out and you waste a shot because the tracks are huge, I guess, or the road wheels are huge. Blast. So sometimes it goes, oh, 2 shots, oh, I need to click, no more shot. Could have killed that Skruda T50. Nope, no more rounds left. So now you depend on your teammates to survive long enough for you to relocate and reload. This is not a tank destroyer. This is more of a freaking T-57 Heavy, and yet the T-57 Heavy has armor, less size, so better camouflage rating, and faster too, I believe. So, wow. So I'm hanging around, being aggressive, and yet being a coward. Super weird feeling, walking a tightrope between being aggressive and not. So I'm flanking around. Hopefully my teammates survive long enough, and hopefully I do not get shot. But he bounced. The WZ-120 bounced off the frontal plate. Should have shoot the gun shield, but oh well. The accuracy of the 120 is not that great. So right now, as you can see, most of the time, you're hunting vehicles that's chasing down your teammates, like this STI or the T10, but thankfully the Lion, is surviving long enough for me to clip these vehicles. And yet, I do not have enough clips to run out or kill out the T10, so. Well, the Lion survived, so thankfully, whew. But yeah, that was intense, and too intense to be playing in the Waffenträger, because you're not supposed to be on the front lines when you're playing Hellcat-like tank destroyers, whereas if you play like other tier 10s, it's more like T110E4 in your face being a heavy tank, or T110E3 being a Doom Turtle version number 2, or playing the Jagdpanzer E100 and just vroom, and basically play like an E100 with a gigantic gun. So yeah, those are assault gun tank destroyers, whereas this vehicle is a heavy tank hybrid. of sorts. It's not even a heavy tank, it's a medium tank, a gigantic medium tank with an autoloader. So yeah, super weird. But this is the mastery badge worthy gameplay out of the 230-ish gameplays I play with any vehicle. So that's a long time, right? Because I usually get about a mastery badge in 30 games or 30 battles played. So I know the vehicle, I know how to play it, but this thing, I do not know how to play this thing. So I play this thing usually passively, like all Waffen triggers. But yeah, if you do that, you do not get enough damage, and often you do get killed. So the Grille 15 will feel a lot more like the Waffen trigger Panzer IVs and Rheinmetall Borsig Waffen triggers. So hopefully it doesn't suck at this as this thing. So playing this thing is a hard racer. It's also frustrating because you have to rely on your teammates surviving long enough for you to reload and clip out your opponents, but also rely on your teammates not to suck while you do almost all the damage. So it's super hard. But here is a good Waffentrigger Panzer IV demonstration. And here we are on airfield to demonstrate the traditional playstyle of snipery tank destroyers rather than the assault gun tank destroyers. So we are on the Waffentrigger Panzer IV. So this is one of my favorite tank destroyers because it has a niche that's not been filled at tier 9. So it's a Hellcat of tier 9, whereas the other tank destroyers at tier 9 are pretty much assault guns, or other than the Su-122 54. So other than that, or the Conway is not really a tank destroyer, it's more of a medium tank or heavy tank. It's huge. The T-30 heavy tank, the T-95, that's a Doom Turtle, that's a heavy tank. So yeah, the Foch assault gun, the Object 704 assault gun. So yeah, no Hellcat like tank destroyers of tier 9 as well, other than the Su-122 54. But yep, play like a coward, so hide in the back. You have to rely on your gun, the accuracy, the penetration, and the DPM. So right now we're playing as a traditional tank destroyer, so trying to snipe this T-71, but the gun arc of the Waffentrigger Panzer IV is 360 degrees, so it's a lot better than the 100 degrees on the Grille 15, but the Grille 15 should play like this vehicle, hopefully, and doesn't play like the super aggressive yet cowardly Waffentrigger auf E100, so doesn't feel that weird, I guess. I wasn't the Grille 15 with 7 degrees of gun depression or 8? I don't remember, but it's a lot better than the 5 or 3 on this vehicle, or the 5 on the Waffentrigger auf E100. So sometimes when you're playing the Waffentrigger auf E100, I had one opportunity of killing the Waffentrigger with my Object 140 just because he doesn't have the gun depression to shoot down if I'm face-hugging the Waffentrigger. So yep. So be patient. That's the essence of playing the Waffentrigger. So right now I'm testing the gun elevation so I can abuse this hill. The higher I am, the better. So snipe, that's what you're good for. The reload is the DPM is pretty good, but the reload is a little bit long for the alpha. So be patient. You have to count on your teammates surviving, and the change to the maps means that you cannot open field snipe across the map like the old Redshire map, which was one of my favorites, playing tank destroyers, but it's more or less corridory now, so that's a nerf to tank destroyers. But here is my opportunity, and you snipe. That's what you do. So be patient. But the Waffentrigger auf E100, in my opinion, is not as good as the Grille 15, the stapler. And a lot of players are hating on the Grille for some reason I do not understand. So, oh, That was a garbage shot. Why did I even take that shot? Just like snapshot. Yeah, sure. You're not playing a medium tank, Sam. It doesn't have the same 7-second reload that I'm used to for tier 9s, but oof, that was just bad. So, snipe, snipe, snipe. Auto aim noob. There you go, penetrated. So you have to snipe. You cannot frontally engage these vehicles, otherwise you get killed. And you have less health than medium tanks of the same tier. So snipe, snipe, be patient, rely on your camouflage rating, rely on your view range with binoculars. So basically rammer, binoculars, camouflage net, whereas the Waffentrigger Panther, no, the Waffentrigger auf E100 has enhanced gun lane drive, binoculars, and camouflage net. That's the crazy assortment of equipments, but snipe, 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 get trolled by this T10. Ugh. So right now you would feel that I'm being passive, too passive to support my team. Not really, I'm still supporting, it's just I want to live. So, knock some health away from, oh, I got spotted, run! So right now, as you can see, I'm jiggling. Jiggling means I can vibrate in place, and that will likely throw off the shot, because a lot of players see that you're moving because you just got spotted. Oh, he's going at full speed, running away. Nope. So they basically lead the shot, and you stop in the middle, jiggling, and therefore they miss, and you can take the revenge hit. So, alright, run. So right now we're being swarmed by a bunch of medium tanks and light tanks and a T10 and 2 gigantic artilleries. So right now I'm thinking kill this T10 and going back to my KBO crud. Ouch. So yeah, the gun arc or the gun traverse is not as fast, but you do have 360 degrees of gun arc. Ooh, artillery. That was close. So yeah. The artillery is likely in front of me to the top right hand side of the maps. Oh, T-54. No, Sam. Tracy. Okay, snapshot. OP. So we took a hit into the T-54, but right now the artillery should be in front of me, and this is a very dangerous position. But thankfully, the 261 missed. Ooh, that was lucky. But still. That's a lot of health. Oh, there he is! Snapshot! No, 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 no. No gun depression, so. Ah, there we go. Hide in this nook. Oh, covered with the T-54. Oh, the gun depression. So, being a cat, you shoot the driver hatch, Sam. That's an auto bounce. So playing tank destroyers should feel like this most of the time. So initially, it's pretty passive. You just snipe. But in the end, if all your teammates are dead, oh, it's super aggressive. Oh, God dang it. Super aggressive, and you miss shots time. So right now, I am safe from artillery based on being this nook, but there is a T10 and there are a few light tanks and tank destroyers. I missed the mutts, but that's the first mutts. Here's the second one. Okay, second shot does not miss. Oh, thankfully. Hopefully I can kill this T10 without any problem. But I'm still worried about this AMX 1390. There he is. I'm still hiding in this nook. The T10 is a one-shot. The AMX 1390 is also a one-shot. There he is, he's derping. I'm still hiding in this nook. I'm not getting out of here because artillery. And onto the T10. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's bum rushing me. Oh, he missed. That was high explosive and he missed. So remember, any tactics you learn in heavy tanks or medium tanks, like wiggling or jiggling, as I like to call it, it still work with tank destroyers, but you still have to employ the side scraping if you can. So running away from large tank destroyers. So right now, I know there's one of them at the top right hand side of the map, and I'm trying to get into open field because in this situation, when you're playing a tank destroyer with camouflage rating, you have to rely on your view range to outspot artillery, because large artilleries at tier 10 and tier 9 usually have no camouflage rating compared to you. So you have to rely on your view range to outspot them, and do not take the chance of getting shotgunned from artillery hiding in a corner. So right now I'm in the open, but it's good because they have to accurately shoot me. Otherwise, they really cannot, since they're gigantic caliber of gun, whatever. So I'm trying to prevent myself from being shotgunned while running towards their cap. So as you can see, I'm checking my corners. Check your corners. Artillery loves to hide in the corner and just shotgun you and trapdoor spiders you. So be aware. I do that. So right now, depend on your own view range and your camouflage rating. So as we progress towards their cap, there it is. See, I outspotted him, and he does not spot me unless I fire. That was a bad shot. I clip his ass, so okay. Good enough. So right now, I know there's another one, and I'm trying to take cover from him as best as I possibly can. So the likely direction of artillery is also important to know. So there's one usually at the bottom right and top right. So I have the hill in front of me and the wall to my left. So we're waiting, trying to spot the other artillery. He's likely down this hill or across the map. So I'm trying to type. I'm telling our artillery to cap to flush him out. What the hell was that? Was that our artillery? Alright. Fires a shot. I don't know if that's our artillery or the opponent, because he might try to blind shot me on the hill, but I don't know, whatever. So he's not here. He's likely on the top right hand of the map. So do not knock down trees if you can. These small saplings will give away your position to a good player, but hide, hide, hide. So try to avoid buildings if you can, but the GW E100 is a large vehicle, and he is not as good with camouflage rating. So not as good with the camouflages. I'm trying to flush him out, but oh crap, he's hiding. Holy. He's perched on the hill like an eagle, except he's gigantic, so easy to spot him. But that's how you play traditional sniper tank destroyer. The initial part of the battle, the first half, is rather relaxing because you're basically sniping. But the second half, if all of your teammates are dead, yeah, it's pretty intense. But I enjoyed the first half more often than playing the Waffentrigger auf E100, where it's basically the second half all the time. So yeah, I like the Panther 4 Waffentrigger a lot better. And the Grille 15 shouldn't be as bad as the E100 Waffentrigger. Ugh. And there you go, folks. The dramatic difference between the Waffentrigger auf E100 and the rest of the Waffentriggers. So as you can see, in order to achieve a lot of XP or do well with the Waffentrigger auf E100, you have to be aggressive. And as you can see, I dealt 6,000 damage. I spotted 3,000, and that's only a first class mastery badge worthy gameplay. What the frick? I spotted 3,000 damage. I dealt 6,000 first class. Pfft, so unfair. So playing this vehicle is super stressful, and when I play this vehicle like a sniper, it never works out pretty well. So it's usually second class or third class because you do not have that many targets since the map got changed to more corridory rather than the open field maps, so you have to be a little bit more aggressive with your tank destroyer. And yet this vehicle has no armor, no camouflage rating, and it's slow. It's based on an E100 chassis, so it's huge. But in order to get the mastery badge for this vehicle, you have to play this thing like a T57 Heavy, or like a Bad Chat, without armor, without camouflage rating, without speed, so, and a long reload. And the DPM is not as good as other tank destroyers of the same tier. And you guys say this vehicle is better than the Grille 15? I highly doubt it. So, as you can see, the mastery badge worthy gameplay is when I play this vehicle like a T57 Heavy. And the T57 Heavy has better DPM, I believe. Do not quote me on that, but it's a lot more flexible with the T57 Heavy. And as you can see with the Waffenträger Panzer IV, just camp in the back, hide in the nook, and you win. Simple enough. But yeah, the Waffenträger Panzer IV is, or should be, a lot similar to the Grille 15, and a lot of players are complaining. The Grille 15 doesn't have autoloader, it doesn't have the full gun arc, so basically limited gun arc, has less health by 200, but it's faster, so they're saying the Grille 15 is not as good as the Waffenträger auf E100. So the Waffenträger auf E100 is made up. The Grille 15, I don't know. I never saw the blueprint of the vehicle, so I cannot tell you, but the gun encasement for the Waffenträger auf E100, that's made up by Serb, so it's not real. But yeah, it's the black sheep of the Waffenträger line, so I believe the Grille 15 should be a lot better, or at least more suitable to the Waffenträger line, because the playstyle should be the same as previous Waffenträgers. So the current fiasco with wargaming is they do not want to turn this situation, this switch, into the same category as the Chieftain switch, where a lot of players are complaining that the Chieftain is not as good as it seems, so they don't want to release a vehicle that's super bad. So they're currently putting a pause on the Grille 15, and I don't know what's with all the hate for the Grille 15. It's a stapler. It's Rob Schneider is a stapler. So the best situation, or the best solution to this problem would be is to make the Waffenträger auf E100 a special premium vehicle like the M60 Patton or the Object 907 without all the benefits of premium crew training or premium credit making, just a special vehicle at tier 10 for all those who already have it, and just implement the Grille 15. That's basically it. I mean, simple solution. It's super easy. You keep the Waffenträger auf E100 if you feel like it, but the Grille 15 plays a lot more like the Waffenträgers, like the Waffenträger Panzer IV, the Untitled Borsig. So yeah, have two vehicles. Sure, I mean, just make the Waffenträger auf E100 a special vehicle at tier 10 for those who already have it, and wha-bam, problem solved. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. But the Waffenträger auf E100, it's super stressful to play. So originally that thing was pretty OP because 6 shots, the best view range, so you could counter spot if you do get spotted. But the nerf to the accuracy of the guns, the nerf to the less shell for the 128, the nerf to the aim time, the nerf to the DPM, the nerf to the view range, the nerf to the draw distance from a square to a circle, which means less area for you to, or the golden area between the draw distance and the maximum view range, where you can abuse your autoloading clip without getting spotted. So yeah, the Waffenträger auf E100 is not as good as you may think. So yeah, don't hate the Grille 15. It's a stapler. It should be better. Rob Schneider is a stapler. But thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a comment below on what you think about the Waffenträger auf E100 switch, if there would be one, to the Grille 15. So leave a comment below. Let me know. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. bye.